So I want to talk, about Kyler Murray and this whole situation with these clauses and contracts about video games and other stuff outside of football. How do you feel about that?
Here's the thing. I didn't look at it as nearly as big a deal as a lot of people did. Because the first thing I look at is here's a 24-year-old quarterback that has done some incredible things, accomplished a lot of incredible things, but he's still learning how to play the game. He's still learning how to prepare because, we all develop the way that we, like, this is what I did in college and this is what worked for me. Oh, shoot, now I'm at the next level. I'm going to try to do those same things. And, again, Kyler's played well, but I think the organization was just saying, let's try something different. Let's try this route. Maybe this route can help you get to where we're all trying to go. And so I never looked at it like, well, Kyler doesn't work hard. Kyler doesn't, have a work ethic or doesn't prepare. I looked at it as, here's a young guy that's still learning how to do it right. And maybe hasn't explored every option because he's leaning back on the things that got him there, which has been great, winning Heisman trophies and having success and not losing in high school. I mean, all those things, it's like you automatically, well, this works for me. Like, I get it. And so I had no problem with it. Again, we know that everything in a contract is going to come out. And, it might be unfortunate that, hey, he's the only one that really has that clause in there. But I think at the end of the day, it was just, man, we're giving you, whatever, $50 million a year. We want you to be great, and we want to be great with you. And so let's figure out what's going to get us there. And you also know, like, we're also different players. Like, so what does that mean exactly? Like, I can go and say, well, okay, Kyler, you need to, watch as much film as Peyton Manning.
Right.
I didn't watch as much film as Peyton Manning.
No one does.
Or you need to do. We all have to develop what it means for us to play at our best. What are our strengths? And what's going to help us get to where we want to go? Kyler's going to be the first one to tell you, I'm not where I want to be yet. Like, I'm not a finished. I have to change it and evolve and do different things. And so that, to me, was all that clause was. And it became a big deal because it was in the media. But tell me you didn't have a coach when you were young going, hey, I need you to come in and watch 30 more minutes of film with me. Or I need you to go, watch film with whoever that young guy was, James Harrison, and I want you to watch how he, we all had guys that kind of pushed us in that direction to go, try this, watch him and learn from that. So I thought it was unfortunate that it became what it was. When to me it was like, come on, man, he's 24 years old. Like, let him work through it and figure it out, and it's okay. And the video game thing, I was never any good at video games, so I didn't play them a lot. But I also believe that I think there can be some benefits to video games just because of, I always used to think about it, like when I prepared in the off season, what I was so good at was processing information. And I always had to ask myself every off season, like, okay, how do you get better at that? Like, what are you going to do? What's the drill? What's the activity that helps you get better? I mean, like, I can't get 11 on 11 every day, or 7 on 7 to process the information. So I was always trying to, play different games, not necessarily video games, but different games that forced me to process and think and see a lot of different things because that was what I needed to work on. And so I think there's a lot of different ways to be able to accomplish what you need to accomplish. And I think video games is a way that can allow you to do that. Obviously, we don't want it to take away from, like our kids, back in the day, like, you can't play any video games, get outside. And now I'm like, hey, I think there's some things that it can do for you. I don't want you sitting there for 8 hours playing video games.
So you're not a Fortnite player?
I am not. I am not a Fortnite player.
Neither am I.
Because see, that's the other thing is, again, I age myself. Back when I was young, we had a joystick and a button. And when we had a joystick and a button, I was really good at all those games. You give me 7 buttons and it's a little overwhelming for me.
You didn't play when Marshall Falk was on the cover of Madden.
I played a little bit in college, so that was one of the things, in our dorm.
Right.
We would all meet in somebody's room and we would play a little bit of Madden. But no, I was never a big video game guy. And, here's the thing. All right, here's the thing. When you go to play video games, right, you always want to play with yourself. And so then when I would play with myself, I was such a timing-oriented quarterback that I couldn't figure out, how to do the things I wanted to do with myself on the game. So I got frustrated because I'm like, gosh, you suck in this game.
You thought you were faster in real life.
Not faster, but I did think I was better than I was on Madden. But
He was at 99. How could you?
I don't know, but so that was the thing is like, it didn't calculate to how because like I wanted to read coverages and I wanted to throw a 3-step drop, hit your third step, let it go, and I could never figure that out with all the buttons. So I just got frustrated and I didn't play as much as I probably would have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
A little bit with my kids here and there, but
So I talked about your team in Madden. That was my favorite team. The greatest show on turf was one of the funnest teams to play with. Marshall Falk, Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt, Ricky Prohl, this was awesome.